the theme at the start of the podcast, yeah.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Versus the Algorithm, the podcast that takes on the internet. My name is Billy James and with me is producer Stylo. Hello, producer Stylo.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I am good because we are back. It's been a while.
Someone's too busy and successful.
Oh, no, definitely not that. But
no,
yeah,
me.
Oh yeah, good. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, no, it's been a busy time. It has been a busy time, but finally we are back and we have a fantastic guest on today's episode. In fact, we've got this in the can. We've had it in the can for a month or two. Yeah, far too long. Yeah, and we've also got another in the can with Nathan Eagle, which again is another fantastic one, which is going to be coming very soon. So we just need to get on it, get these things out. That's what we need to do. Yeah. I need to get on it.
Well, you can't take. I mean, we were scheduled to do a record, and I ended up being like a good episode of Match of the Day. So. Not entirely your fault, is it?
You might need to explain what that is, because you said that to me before and I had no idea what you were talking about.
Yeah, you thought I'd had like a busy week or something. No, I had action at both ends of the table.
It's a pleasant way of putting it. No, good.
Well, it's a not so graphic way of putting it.
Yeah. But I'm glad that you've now brought it up. Cool.
Okay, no, I'm fine now. I was bringing it up again.
Good, yeah, excellent. But yes.
Enjoy editing all this, by the way.
I will. I think it's just going to stay in. It's fine. But yes, we're going to keep our chat to a minimum today because we've got a really, really good long chat with Sunjai. And we're going to do our own bonus pod. We are going to come back with our own bonus pod in 2-3 weeks, something like that. And then after...
Months, maybe. Months, more likely.
Put it out there. I'm trying to manifest it. Then after that, we are going to bring out the Nathan episode, which is a delight as well. So keep your eyes on that one. We are going to introduce our guest. Unfortunately, you couldn't make this interview, could you? Because you had some life going on. So it is. You need to know this. You need to know that it starts off with a very big question. So that's all I'm going to say.
It's mysterious. I don't know who he is. Who is Stylo?
Who is he?
Explain him without him here to defend himself.
Yeah, absolute prick. Massive bellend. No, he's a lovely man. He is. We've been friends for a number of years, and he's just been really supportive with the comedy stuff. And he's quite often someone. So I've got a few friends questions too, sure. About run a joke by him, and he's one of them. And he's although we don't do comedy, he's quite good, I have to say. I mean,
it's good. It's good to have people outside comedy.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone outside comedy. It's depressing. When I started comedy, I think I've alienated everyone else in my life. I've only got comedians left, and they're the worst people. I don't know if you find this. Did you find... So when I started, a lot of people would come to watch because I think they were just curious. It wasn't really supportive. It was just is he actually funny or not? Yeah. And they'd always reveal themselves because they'd come up and they go, "Oh, it was actually funny." And I'd be like, "So you thought it wouldn't be?" It's so nice.
Yeah.
But then they get bored and that trails off. No one comes to see me anymore.
How long have you been doing comedy now? Because you've been doing it for... I saw... Well, I know the answer to that question.
Yeah,
so I saw your post the other day, but tell us.
Well, I did. Yes, a memory came up on Facebook of my first gig 10 years ago. 10 years ago this week. And I was like, oh my God, 10 years, I should be so much better than I am. But you've got to take out lockdown.
Yes.
And you got to take out another year when I was a bit poorly. But now I'm better. All in good health.
Excellent news. Glad to hear it.
It wasn't a mental thing. Loads of people say that. Oh, when I was ill, and it was a bit of a mental breakdown. I just worked through the mental stuff that makes the comedy better. This was body rot, inside body rot. That's all fixed now with modern medicine.
Excellent. Yeah. Glad to hear it.
So I reckon maybe 7 years gigging.
Yeah.
It's all right. I think all the goals I set myself, I've reached, like that I initially set when I got into it, which is nice. And now I'm setting more that I haven't reached, and that is frightening.
And what are they? Can we ask?
I want to be able to do my own tour to my own fans, which would be lovely. And I think the easiest way to do that now is to have a social media presence and have people go, oh, I like that. Oh, he's performing near me. I'll go to that. And I don't think that could take years. It could take 1 minute. I don't know how long it take, but that's ultimately what I want to do, and it seems quite achievable.
So, what's your sort of social media presence at the moment? Are you?
Oh, it's not great.
Is this a new thing that you're gonna do in 2025?
It is, because oh man, time just screams past so quickly. So I would say in 2022 now? What are we now? 25. So it's 23. In 2023, towards the end of the year, I was like, right, I've got to do something with my social media. And I worked out a little like posting schedule where I was going to film and or post every day, just like little things to camera, and put up reels from gigs I'd done and clips and stuff. And I did it for a month, and I really saw the benefit. Like I gained like a follower every day, which isn't much, but when I didn't have many at the time anyway, it worked out really well. And I think there were just people that liked me, were interested in what I was saying in the little clips, and there was quite a bit of engagement, like people commenting on them and stuff, which is nice. And this is not a lot of people. This is like, I think the most I got was like 50 likes on a video. But I was like, oh, I could see the potential for that growing if I stick to it. And then I was doing a podcast with Nathan Eagle, who's going to be one of your other guests, and Hetty Austin, who should be one of your other guests as well.
Yes, get her on.
Yes, that would be great. And we just generated so many clips, like little funny clips from our chats, that's mostly what I was posting and not my own stuff. And I would say for the last 6 months, I haven't posted once on social media. Like I haven't posted a single clip. And now starting a new year, I'm like, I gotta get on it. I'm gonna write another little schedule and stick to that. And I've penned out a bunch of sketches, and I've got a rough idea of videos gonna do, and I'll do them and post them and see how they do. And I'm ready for the slow burn. I think another thing is really trying to forge your own path, because I think if there's formats that other people do that arguably work, but a lot of the people I know who are quite successful, they really hate doing it. They hate the pressure of how much they have to post and how often and how quickly. And I don't want to be doing something I don't like. And you hear a lot of people who want you want the success of social media, but some people are willing to go through doing something they don't like to get to a place they want to be, which is fine. And I would have done that when I'm younger, but I'm old and tired now, and I just want to do what I enjoy. And hopefully I'll just have my own fan base rather than trying to appeal to the filthy masses. What do the people know? Huh? What do people know? I was trying to think of a Peep Show quote. You can't trust people. They voted for Hitler and they listened to Coldplay.
Have you had any sort of bad experiences with social media?
Not terribly so. I don't think I'm on it enough. I've seen some things have really surprised me, like because I really don't have like many followers. I got definitely less than 1,000 on Instagram, but I've been to gigs and like sort of groups of people have come up and said, "Oh, we saw you were here from your social media, and so we came." And I was like, I can't believe that's happening when I've got such a small amount of people on there. Like, what if I work on growing it and make it big? I could definitely tour off it. I think most people could. It's just being committed, and I'm not good at that.
you've done some tour support for Sean Collins.
Oh yes, I did.
He has done.
He done a big blow up.
Yeah, big blow up on social media, which obviously has been like fantastic for him. So you must have seen that kind of firsthand.
Yeah, so that's what let him tour was. I mean, it is a bit more to it than this, but in simply put, he's been on the circuit for years, like 30 plus years, and like internationally. And so he's just got this huge slew of like TV appearances and clips, and his sons helped him clip them up and for him to post on social media. And yeah, it just blew up, and he got hundreds of thousands of followers and people asking, come and do my town. So then he would get in touch with or his agent would get in touch with a promoter in the area and go, oh, we want to come and do the tour show and book it. And he needed someone to drive him, and I can drive. So, and
you're a very funny man. So it's all
you don't want to book someone too funny to support you on tour. Got to be just the right level of like mediocrity.
I can say you're an award-winning comedian, right? Didn't you win?
I am award-winning comedian.
Oh yes,
long time ago.
But you won that quite early on, right? You won the Bath Comedy Festival.
The Bath. I think so. Early on, I think most people, when you start, everyone recommends you do competitions, and it's almost the easiest way to get stage time. Is all the competitions for new acts. And yeah, I did well in competitions when I first started. When did I start? 2015. I think I got to the final of the South Coast Comedian of the Year, which doesn't exist anymore. And there was a London one called the Max Turner Prize. Got to the final of that one in my first or second year. And then, I did the Bath New Act Comedian and won that one, which is actually like the South Coast one and even the Max Turner one don't mean that much to anyone, but the Bath one does. And I got a few nice messages from other comedians I looked up to saying well done, and then I ain't done nothing since.
I don't believe that for a second.
I hated competitions. I was like, this is completely against what comedy should be. Like, comedy is subjective. How could you grade it and have a winner? And I used to bang on about that, and it didn't mean anything until I won one, and then I could go, now I can say they're crap. I don't sound bitter. So I actually won something, so I can say, stop doing competitions. They can be really bad for your mental health. It's like it's kind of like they mean everything and nothing at the same time. So if you enter one and you don't get anywhere, it means absolutely nothing. Doesn't mean you're a bad comedian. Doesn't mean you're not going to make it. It means nothing to you as an act. But if you enter one and you win, then it does mean like a little bit of a catapult. You get more opportunities. People know your name. So it's great if you do well in it. It means nothing if you don't. And it's hard for those two things to exist at once in your brain.
Yes, fair. I kind of found like recently myself, like, so I did, like you said, competitions, great chance for stage time. So I was doing them all. I've realised recently that really for progression wise, it's just getting on those bills in front of those promoters and stuff and doing well for them. And that seems to be much more beneficial, I think, really. I don't know. That's the way I'm kind of feeling at the moment. Does that ring true with you or not?
I think the circuit has changed a lot since lockdown, and still nobody really knows exactly what it is or how it operates. There's people that have enjoyed the changes since lockdown, and so they go in that direction, like promoters and acts. And then there's people who don't like it and want to like go back to the old way. I think when I was running, because that was another way to get stage time, is if you ran a gig when you first started. And so when I used to run a gig pre-lockdown, if someone dropped out or we needed an act, I could put up a post on Comedy Forum or Facebook, and we would honestly have like 50 people reply to for like an unpaid spot where they had to drive like 100 plus miles. We'd have 50 people like want to bite your hand off to do it. And now, I would say like maybe 5 people will get in touch when it's paid as well, like cover petrol and everything. So it's definitely, I think there's definitely, people have noticed there's less of a need to travel and like flog yourself to get experience when you can almost shortcut by going the social media way. You can spend your evenings making videos, put them online, and get a lot more benefit to you straight away than driving all over the country and gigging for nothing. Like, progression seemed to always be this ghost you could never get. Like, promoters would promise progression in the past, but really they just wanted someone to perform for free, and there was almost like an inexhaustible amount of acts, so they could just keep having people perform for free and just never promote them, because there were plenty of people at that level already getting paid. But it is. I think progression is a bit better now because there's less acts. When did you start, Billy?
Beginning of 2022.
Oh, right. So you never saw the before times. Oh my gosh.
What were they like? Tell me.
Just like, you were expected to gig for nothing and drive hundreds of miles. And I would do it, and I was really keen. I'd drive like to Manchester for an unpaid gig to be seen, and yeah, if you did do well, they would be keen to have you back. And I was just driving hundreds, like thousands of miles a year for very little money. You needed to do it to be noticed. Well, I suppose I did get a bit noticed before lockdown, which was nice. But now, I think, like, why would I drive up to Manchester, 6-hour drive, to maybe get noticed by a promoter and maybe get paid in the future, when I could put up a video and get, not like I could, I'm not at this level, but I could, in theory, get to the point where you put up a video and get thousands of likes, and promoters just go, oh, they're good, people will come to the show if I book them, and they're funny as well. So that's the position I'm in. Is I've done the, what's it called? What do people call it?
The hard yards. Paid your dues.
Paid my dues? Yeah. I don't think I've paid all my dues, but I've definitely done the hard work and been in pubs and performed to 2 people or hundreds of people or whatever. And now I think I'm good enough act to capitalize on getting a following online, and then I can go and do a show and be good. Whereas I think what I see a lot is people who've got a following online, then they go and perform, and then, like, no offense to them, they're just not very good performers. They haven't spent any time on stage. And I've seen people who've toured and lost followers and lost fans because people have come to see them because they love a 30-second clip, but they can't do an hour of performance. They can't entertain them for an hour. Yeah, so I feel quite confident that I could capitalize on having a fan base. Just got to build one, mate. Easy, innit?
Yeah.
Easy. Easy. So the before times all relied on gatekeepers, and it was all about proving yourself to the people in charge. And like, I've always been like a rebel without a cause. I hate the idea in that anyway. But now, yeah, social media gives the opportunity to bypass that. And it's brilliant. I think if you try and follow other people's models, you can get quite depressed in trying to do what someone else has made work. But if you forge your own path and just do something consistently that you like doing, people will flock to it. You will find your own fan base, definitely. And I can tell you about a show I did Edinburgh in 2019. And that experience made me realize I could have a fan base, because of the response to that show. But I just did a show where I completely opened my heart to the audience, just did my most inner thoughts that were in my head and stuff that was really important to me. And the response to it was so positive. I was like, yeah, I could definitely, if I can find a way to put this out, I'll keep doing Edinburgh and keep building a fan base, then building on people coming, then it will work out. And then we had the big global pandemic, and Edinburgh all but stopped for probably, I think they only took 1 year off. I think they were back by. I think 2020 was cancelled, but they definitely had a smaller group go up in 2021, and then they've been kept going since then. But it's so unaffordable.
Yeah,
and you can do it for effectively free on social media now.
Yeah.
You can put your content out and get followers from that instead of having to pay actual thousands to go to Scotland for a month.
Would you want to go back up, as what you were saying before about how the show went? You were.
I did. I loved it, and I would love to go up and emulate that year again. But I think realistically, it's just not going to be the same, and it's quite hard to get truthful feedback from people who've gone up what it's actually like, because there's always an element of keeping up appearances and saying everything's going great and saying you're doing well, and that does help get more things. But if you're like another act and you're trying to find out like how did it actually go, how was it, it's quite difficult to get the truth from people. But I gather it wasn't as like sunshine and roses as many people were letting on. I'm not keen to go up anytime soon.
You are a podcaster. You had your podcast. I did hear from Nathan. We recorded one with your
silly
podcast.
Bugger, isn't he? What a silly bugger.
Is it over?
No, he's not doing it anymore. I think it's something. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to go to a guest format. So I have a little question to ask you, maybe a little way down the road.
Do I know anyone who would do it?
Yeah.
Do I know any good guests?
I want to get your guest list for this and pilfer it. We'll go to guest format. Like Hetty still wants to do it. I still want to do it because it's a great format, and the numbers on it were fantastic. With the podcast, very uncharacteristic for me, I set like a 5-year plan and like read loads about podcasts and got loads of advice from everywhere. And so I drew up like a rough 5-year thing of what we were capable of, what we could do. And we sort of were hitting every goal. And I set goals above. We had like dream goal, like actually achievable goal, and like goal we could still recover from. And we were getting like the dream goal every time, which is absolutely fantastic.
How long has it been going now? You've got any good tips?
I mean, I would say the tip is consistency, but we are not consistent.
No, that's good to hear, because either am I. Oh my God.
In any way, yeah.
It takes a long time, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess I think we sort of fell into a few things. Like the chemistry between me, Nathan, and Hetty is really good. Like we can talk for hours about anything. Like we did an episode. We did an hour-long episode of pickles, like on what we love about pickled food. And like I wouldn't say it was one of the stronger episodes, but it was fine. And yeah, I think a lot of the feedback we got from people is it was just a fun, light listen. It was one a lot of people would listen to while walking their dog, that kind of one. So yeah, I think we found our niche without setting it, of just being a fun, easy listening, not too long, very easy to produce and make, which was the main draw. Like I heard you saying, it takes you a long time to get these out. So if you can think of a way to speed up production, like I think relying on comedians to do something that they say they're going to do is ready for failure. And like on the offset. It sounds like it's a great idea though.
But like your format's fantastic. Like I've listened to a number of episodes, and like you say, the chemistry is beautiful. Like one of the first ones I jumped on was the wrestling one, because that was a lovely nostalgia fest. Oh, delightful. But like the whole idea of bringing different subjects to each week, it sort of keeps it fresh and everything as well. And it's really, really great listen. So I'm very pleased to hear that you are carrying it on. That is
we won't pack it in. It's sort of done too well. It's not at like heady heights of we've had a massive success or whatever, but it's I think almost everyone tries a podcast or at some point, and some go nowhere and some go to something, and this was at least going in the right direction.
I was going to say to you, this is a slight gear change before I forget. Obviously on this podcast there is another guy, producer Stylo, and he wanted to be here.
The mysterious Stylo.
Please do sing his name, you will enjoy that.
Yeah. I'm offended he's not here.
I know, outrageous, right? Family stuff.
Who's more important? Your kids or random comedian?
But he did want to ask you 3 questions, so I've got the job of asking you these 3 questions.
Please do them in his voice.
Oh God. So, no, that's not very good.
Where's Billy gone?
Yeah, no. So, first question is, what would be the quiz show or panel show, comedy-wise, that you would most like to guest on?
Oh, Would I Lie to You? Easily.
Yeah. What a show that is.
So much fun. I love lying. I love making shit up. Definitely.
That is a great program. Oh,
Yeah,
Bob Mortimer on there.
Fun. Oh man, I love every single one of his. And I completely understand the frustration of just, you have no idea whether it's real or not. It's brilliant. Yeah, that's the easy one. That's fun. I always find that fun to watch. Whereas like in the topical shows, as much I'm not as bothered. God, who wants jokes? Who wants well written, very funny jokes? No, thank you.
But I find Lee Mack, because Lee Mack is so quick. It almost he's one of those people that's so brilliantly fast that it was like almost put me off even trying stand up. I was kind of like looking at him and going, I could never ever do that because he's just like that. I needed to see someone rubbish to think.
It's a different type. It's just a different type of comedian. So there's some people whose brains, when they hear a word, they instantly think of every possible meaning of that word, and so it's easy to, not easy, but like they can conjure up jokes or other meanings around it very, very quickly, and your brain kind of has to be wired for that. I don't think you can really train for it. You certainly, if you're already wired that way, you can certainly train for it better. I just can't do it. I haven't got a good enough grasp of language. I have to just take my top off to be funny. Oh, that was the thing I was thinking because little peek behind the curtain, Billy doesn't pay for his Zoom account, so it cut off in the middle and we had to start again. But in that little break, I didn't realize you hadn't started till after lockdown. So I was thinking, you don't know the context of what kind of act I was before lockdown.
No,
because I used to just do really weird, surreal stuff, and I did a lot of songs and stuff, and I quite often would completely paint myself, like in body paint, and then put clothes on top, and then do a bit of stand up on stage that was like leading up to being this character, and I'd take my clothes off, and I'd be like completely painted blue or completely painted green or red, and then I'd like pretend to be the devil or a genie or like Jabba the Hutt or something, and that I did that. That was my act, and then I got tired of like driving hundreds of miles and then getting home at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then still needing to have a shower before bed and wash off all the body paint. I was like, I've got to be able to do stand up without props, and yeah, then I developed that, and then I just never got back to it after lockdown. Although that's what I do in my own shows. Like if I'm doing like an hour show or something, I'll do that surreal stuff, and I really want to get back to it. And that is what I want to do for my social media as well, because no one has a clue.
Okay.
Nobody has a clue. That's the only reason I exist. It's because I used to take my top off. Like I'm not a good enough comedian to stand out otherwise. I've got to get banned on Twitch for showing my nipples.
I did not know that. I need to see it now. Okay, excellent.
There's some footage out there somewhere. Stylo, second question.
What's your favourite biscuit?
What is my favourite biscuit? Oh my gosh. I don't know what they're called, but they're not ginger biscuits, but they're a biscuit with like little bits of ginger in them, like, candied ginger. And like when you dip them in tea and then you eat them, you've got a lovely like tea biscuit, and then afterwards you've got little chewy bits of ginger. It's delicious. They're my favourite. Don't know what they're called.
Oh man, I need to know now.
Sounds like I made them up. I don't know where to buy them from. I've never seen the packet.
Where have you had them?
I know sometimes my wife will bring me a plate of biscuits and there'll be one on there. I'm like, oh, this is my favourite. But I never ask what it is. I think it might be from like a variety pack. Okay. I only have one like once a year at Christmas. So I think it's in one of those things. Oh, I've got to show you something. Oh, this is not going to... You see that?
That is a Royal Danks biscuit tin.
Tin, yeah. It's not a sewing kit. It's actually biscuits in there.
Really?
Yeah, it's sealed and it's got biscuits in there. And I'm so excited. It's been on the coffee table for weeks. And I honestly thought it was a sewing kit. And I think I moved it and I went, oh, this is sealed. And my mum was like, yeah, it's biscuits. I was like, no way. I'm still not 100% convinced. I'm still worried I'm going to pull the seal off this and open it and it is going to be a sewing kit. I don't think I've ever actually seen a real tin of biscuits with biscuits in it in my life. It's like the closest I've ever got is like a plastic, never a metal tin, ever. I mean, I'm very excited for this. I will record and document that for sure.
Please do.
The ginger ones in there. Oh, I think they're in here, Billy.
Oh, go on then. Solve the mystery.
It hasn't listed what each biscuit is called. They don't have names. It's that one.
That one.
Okay. It's got little bits of ginger in it.
Okay, so that is the bit. Okay, it's part of the Royal Danks biscuit collection.
I think so.
Slight side story, but this annoyed me the other day, right?
Oh no.
I know.
Get into it.
I'm at work. I go into the work kitchen, just going to grab myself a coffee. There is a tub of Quality Streets on the side, and there's a post-it on top.
I already know what's happened,
help yourself.
And I'm furious for you.
It said help yourself. I thought, right, I will help myself. I open it up, and they meant to the tin, to the actual tin, and none of the content.
Even worse. That's even worse than I thought.
What did you think?
I thought it was just going to be full of wrappers. Like you got there late and everyone had eaten them. I mean, they had all been eaten.
They had.
But I hate it when people put the wrappers back in.
Yeah.
They literally just left an empty tin.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, help yourself to this. Was it at least a metal? Was it a metal one or was it?
It was a metal one. It was a metal one.
Oh, I suppose that's pretty fancy, isn't it? You could put a sewing kit in there.
You could.
Do you have a sewing kit in your house?
No. Mine, actually, the missus might.
I think. Oh, sexist.
I know. I definitely don't. That's all I know.
Misogyny rearing its head again.
I feel like
might have a sewing kit for her. Fix my trousers.
I'm sure she's hooked me up with a button repair before. That's what I'm thinking. What was the third question? The third question. So,
Stylo's mystery third question.
Do you have a shed?
No, but I have had a shed.
Oh.
But I don't currently. My garden's too small for a shed now.
Do you miss the shed?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. I miss the shed we used to film the podcast in.
It did start off in a shed.
It started off in a shed.
Was that your shed? Is that your old shed?
Hetty's parents' sheds. Shed.
Oh, okay.
Shed, summer house thing.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's got a bit. It's haunted, but it is nice. But yeah, no. I used to have an allotment, and I had a shed on the allotment, and then I got served a dirty plot letter and got kicked off the allotment. And,
oh wow!
And I donated the shed to someone else.
Sorry, a dirty plot letter.
Dirty plot. I didn't keep my allotment up to standard. It wasn't.
Savage.
We made a mistake because I think the waiting list to get that plot it also was like 5 years, and in that time we had a child. And so when we got the allotment, we were like, I don't care about marrows anymore.
Yeah.
And didn't keep it in good enough order. We got kicked off.
Savage. I didn't know that was a thing.
It was savage. Savage. But also the plots were too big for like a lot of people to manage. So now you only get a third of a plot if you don't want a full plot.
Oh.
That would have been perfect because I kept about a third of it in good order. But they were like, what about the rest of it? There's weeds.
Right. I think it's about time I asked you about the social media thing. So,
yes.
Do you have any ideas for clips? Maybe one that we could follow your progress on?
I do. I have a plan. very loose plan for a series of clips.
Like it.
Where I take, because my kids are great, they're hilarious. And so quite often, I'm not a dad joke person, but quite often I will say to them, oh, this is a good opportunity for a dad joke. And I tell them, I go, this isn't from me. This is out in the ether. This is dad joke. And then they'll always like critique the dad joke and like rip it apart and be like, well, why would that happen? Why is this funny? Why are you saying that? And then I wrote I wrote a series of like dad jokes gone wrong, when your kids turn your dad jokes against you. And they're quite funny, I believe. So I filmed one.
Yeah.
When you tell your kids you're not made of money, and then they go, well, what if you were made of money? And then you turn into a pile of coins. So I've filmed that.
Yeah. Nice.
I'll probably put it out tomorrow.
Oh.
Because I'm going for a writing session with young Andrew White.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
He's quite successful on that old social media. So I'm going to be like, what release schedule shall I do for these clips? And he'll help me with that. So we'll probably post that tomorrow, and I'll see how it does. I don't expect the first one to get tons of views, but I expect the people who already follow me to respond to it well. I don't think it'll get new followers or anything. And then if you keep doing like videos with a theme or whatever, then they slowly grow over time. So I'll let you know how the first one goes whenever you check in with me, and then I'll be interested to see how it does like by the end of the year, if I even keep up with it.
How many a week? What's the target?
I mentioned so I did that like release schedule of clips like almost a couple of years ago now, and it went quite well, and I set something that was like reasonable to film, and I think I'll do that whole thing again. So it would be something like do one little like thoughts to camera thing, do one reel of all the gigs I've done that week, do one like clip from stand up that I've done. It's not like, I think a lot of people are trying to get a joke that goes viral or something, but sometimes it's just good to show you're relevant, just be present and have people respond to things. So there'll be to camera clip, a reel, a clip of stand up. So it's those three things a week, maybe a throwback video or from like one you put out before. So it's just rehashing the same content. So that's 4 posts a week. And then these sketches, if I can do it, I'd like to do one every 2 weeks, but I think it would be reasonable to set just one a month, just to have. So, and if people respond to them well, they'll ask for more or whatever. And then I'd really like to turn my old stand-up, so the surreal stuff I did like pre-2020, I'd love to turn those into clips as well. So that'd just be more content, and people will like it. I never understood why people liked it at the time. I used to be on stage laughing, like people would be laughing, and I'd just be thinking, you are all mental. Why do you like this? So yeah, I'd like to do that. I could imagine putting that online, and I could just imagine people liking it and thinking, why do you like this? Silly buggers.
Do you have like a certain time of day that you prefer to post, or have you not sussed that out yet?
Yeah, there's lots of different theories. I think the best thing would be something that fits your schedule. So I think that's what I did is I wanted to see if I could stick to a schedule of posting with fitting in recording, fitting it around family, fitting it around gigging, and like easy to produce, not having to do loads of subtitling or editing or anything. And just posting when was right for me, really. I think I was posting midday most of the time, like recording something in the morning just after kids went to school and then putting it out. Yeah, there's loads of theories. I think you're always going to find people who are online. Like, there's always going to be someone.
Very true. And one last question, just because you sort of almost
led
me into it just there. No, just you mentioned why do people like this, or why you had that thought, right? With regards to the online stuff, do you kind of ever worry that too? Because I don't know if you have like friends or family that follow you as well, and obviously when you're doing stand up, it's stuff that you've tried, you've tested, and you kind of get to a point where you know most of the time it'll work, or it's worked like a high percentage of the time. With online stuff, you're just creating something and throwing it straight out. Do you worry about what people close to you might think, or have you never worried about that sort of thing at all?
Yeah, I guess there's that fear of being judged. I don't think I would put anything out that I would put stuff out that I'm not like 100% happy with. Like I want to tweak it or something, but I've learned you just got to put it, you just got to do it. Like there's a point you've got to walk away from editing. But I think mostly everything I have or would put out, I'm happy with to a point. Like I'm not chasing the algorithm. Like I'm not trying to do exactly what I think people will respond to. I'm just trying to be myself, and the people who like that will find you. Will end up in front of them at some point, and they'll go, oh, I like that, and follow it. That's what was happening with actually going to Edinburgh, and year after year the same people would come and bring more and bring friends, and that's like the analog version of social media now. Digital is a lot quicker and faster. You can get your stuff out to a lot more people a lot quicker. I guess maybe, I don't know, if you feel some people are maybe doing it the wrong way, like backwards, like they want to appeal to a lot of people, so they're trying to create something that people will like, whereas really I think you've got to make something you like and are proud of, and then that will appeal to certain people. There's bloody like nearly 8 billion people in the world. Someone's going to like it. Just be true to yourself. And be true to your heart, and you'll grow, you'll fly. What will you do? Be true to your heart. Just echo. Be true to your heart.
Be true to your heart. Be true to your heart. Be true to your heart.
That was the brilliant Sunjai Arif, and these are his thoughts after putting out his clips.
Hello, dear Billy. What has happened since we recorded your podcast many weeks ago? I was going to start doing sketches. Well, I did one.
I'm not paying £9 for a milkshake. I'm not made of money. Oh, but you are.
It did fine on Instagram. I think the algorithm only showed it to about 600 people, and I don't know, I got a few like 30 likes or something, which is quite depressing. I don't know what kind of exchange rate that is, but I started TikTok. That was my first video I posted on TikTok. It did fine. TikTok decided to show it to about 1,000 people, and I think that got 50 likes or something, which again I think is pretty bad for TikTok. But I have discovered that it's not worth putting the effort into sketches, because I get more views for this. Like, just what I'm doing right now is just sitting in my chair in my bedroom, or sitting in my wife's chair in my bedroom, but I sit in it mostly, and just share some thoughts to screen. Those will get like 20,000 views. Whereas if I try and do a sketch or try and actually properly do comedy, no one cares. So I suppose that's good, because it's easier to do this. It's easier to just chat about nothing, and people like it, because I mean the people are wrong, but this is what they like. So give the people what they want, or don't. I don't care. Is there I don't know. Is there a conclusion? I don't know. I guess the conclusion is I found I can get better response from lower effort videos. So that's what I do. I guess it's a kind of win in a way. I was putting up random things. So I'm recording all my stand-up and try and sort of post a clip from each gig I do. Basically just to show I'm busy, really. But those don't do great. They get about around 1,000 views each and around 50 likes each. But one time I put up a video, was just sitting in this chair, and I took my hairband out, and I was like, look, if you bend, I should do it now. Oh, this isn't the right hairband. This probably won't work. But I was like, if you bend a hairband in a special way, it kind of looks like that. You can get a shape that looks a little bit like a willy. And that is the video that everyone, like, got loads of likes, people commenting on. I was like, oh, if that's comedy now, I don't know if I want to do this. It really depressed me. Start on a higher note. All right, let's try that with a different pitch. And I thought, oh, if people enjoy the inner thoughts of my mind, that's good, isn't it? That means people will like my content. The internet is definitely for me. There we go. You can end on that night. That can be a nicer thing. Let's be positive. Break that algorithm. I think I've been a bit lapsed as well. I think I posted every day for about 4 weeks. No, not every day. I posted 3 times a week for 4 to 6 weeks or something. And it was videos are slowly getting more and more views. So, but then I got a bit lapsed because I was upset by the lowest effort video getting the best response. But I need to go over it and get back to it. So I'm going to start putting up clips. Going to launch the 4th season of my podcast very soon. That should be out by the time you put this out, really. It's called How Obsessed Are You? Our first guest is Max Fulham, excellent comedian and ventriloquist. And it was a lot of fun having him in. Go and have a listen to that one. Listen to the backlog of episodes. And we will keep putting them out. It was a pleasure to talk to you, Billy. Love you, bye.
So there it was. A real pleasure to have him on. A great guest. Knows his comedy. Really does know his comedy.
It was a pleasure for you. I got called a prick and had a fucking terrible impression of me done.
It was not a good impression.
This is the second pod in a row. So it's almost like you've got like a formula of like good feedback because Stylo got hammered about his shed. Let's try and continue the theme of getting Stylo hammered on another podcast by a comedian.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like it's the best way to have people get to know you. This is what he's like, honesty.
What a prick.
Yeah, best policy. But yes, the impression was awful. I had a cold. That's my only excuse.
I've also just realised, by me bringing this up as well now, we are just going to get people giving comments like, yeah, he is a prick. Yeah, he's a prick. He's a prick. Yeah, he is a prick. I know him. Yeah, he's a prick.
Yeah,
and that would just be the wife.
Back there. Something I really liked was his scheduling. I thought that was really, really good. And I'm going to try and pick up a bit of that organization myself. The fact he had like different kinds of clips and he was going to have like, set times to put them out during the week and certain boxes that he was going to make sure he ticked. And I do not have any of that. And I liked it.
I think that's something that's, especially with a lot of your sketches come around the times of certain events, like, again, periodically at the time of recording you've just put out the Grand National sketch. I think it will work well for you having to plan around those specific popular events.
Yeah, bit of a regurgitation as well, I have to say. I thought that one out last year, but it's like, if 300 people view it, fucking let's try again. 100%. I don't want that work going to waste. Also liked the biscuit chat and the fact that the mystery was solved in real time.
Yeah.
Where was this biscuit from? Oh, it's like within a foot of me.
It's still a relatively obscure biscuit from an obscure biscuit collection.
It was.
I like it.
With regards to the actual conclusion that he came up with, basically just talk, screw the effort. I can just so relate.
You got to keep plugging away there, mate. Consistency is key.
Apparently so. I have gone up a whopping 18 followers or something in the last 2 months. Go me.
We did have a little pre-podcast discussion about the depressing figures of yours compared to other people's, but I'm sure we'll touch on that on the bonus.
100%. Yeah, come back for that. Yeah, that will be out soon. Stylo will be destroying me. Okay, good. On that note, we will leave it there, and we will also say that Sunjai's podcast with Hetty Austin, It's called How Obsessed Are You? And the new series is out now. It's available on all your podcast providers. And this podcast is about to finish. So how's that for perfect timing? Go check it out. We will see you again very soon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Billy James.
I'm producer Starlight.
See you soon. Cheers.
Bye.
This is the theme at the end of the podcast. Yeah.